Relax, and as you do, simply let your mind wander. You may find, as you listen to my voice, you become more and more curious about how the mind can influence reality in subtle ways. Now some people, perhaps unknowingly, they tap into this mystery with incredible skill. There are moments, when you're completely unaware of how your own beliefs and expectations shape what you experience. Have you ever noticed how a small shift in your perception, it can create a completely different world? It's almost like stepping into a room that was always there, but only now do you begin to see it clearly. Now, when it comes to energy healing, or even the practice of being psychic or a medium, there's something fascinating happening beneath the surface. In fact, most people, they don't even realize just how much they influence their own sense of reality, how they allow certain patterns to unfold in their own minds. It's almost as if the body and the mind, when properly guided, can unlock doors to experiences that feel incredibly real, whether they're based in the tangible or the intangible. You see, energy healing, it often involves the idea of the mind-body connection, the belief that the energy within and around us can be manipulated, guided, or even harmonized. It's an idea so deeply embedded in many cultures. It feels almost natural to believe in it, doesn't it? Because somewhere deep inside, your subconscious understands everything is interconnected. As you think about energy, imagine how it could flow in and around you, and how the very words I speak, they can help you unlock that deeper sense of connection. Feel it now, just as easily as you can sense the air in the room around you. Now, energy healers, they often use rituals, symbols, or even touch to help bring about a state of deep relaxation, where the mind becomes more receptive and open. And when your mind is relaxed, you're more likely to access the subconscious part of your being, the part that can interpret symbols and metaphors. Whether the healer uses a symbol, a colour, or even a touch on the shoulder, the energy they speak of might not always be visible to the conscious mind, but it can be felt deeply in the body, as sensation and emotion arise almost spontaneously. And it is interesting how you can sometimes feel a shift even before you can explain it. And speaking of sensations, did you notice sometimes when a healer touches or places their hands near your body, you might experience warmth or tingling? It's not magic, but rather the body's natural response to focused attention. It's as if your body is already attuned to your environment, and it begins to mirror the energy you believe is present. Perhaps you've felt this warmth before, when you were deeply relaxed, or when someone you trusted was close. It's the body's way of reacting to attention that flows from a person to you, or perhaps from within you, reaching out into the world. Notice how your body responds, even to words and thoughts alone. And when it comes to psychic phenomena, that's even more interesting, because so much of it hinges on something you already do naturally, reading people. We all have an intuitive sense about those around us, picking up on subtle cues that we might not even be consciously aware of. Did you know you can pick up on someone's feelings just by the way they hold themselves, their posture, their voice, even the way they breathe? In fact, people who are skilled at this, who perhaps have honed this ability through years of practice, become very adept at reading the energy and making astounding guesses about people's lives and emotions. As you're thinking about this now, imagine for a moment you're sitting in a room with someone who's skilled in reading these subtle cues. They may start to say things that seem to resonate deeply with you, truths you hadn't fully articulated yourself. And you might begin to wonder, how do they know that? The answer lies in the fact that we all give off signals, whether through body language, tone of voice, or even through the thoughts we think. Skilled practitioners tap into these cues almost unconsciously, and it can feel as though they're reading your mind. Now, of course, some people are better at the skills than others, but even a novice can make a statement that feels spot on, because they simply are aligning with the person's expectations. You see, expectation is a key to all of this. When you expect to receive insight, your mind becomes far more receptive to the messages being sent. Perhaps you've noticed how, when you're open to something, the world often delivers it, almost as if it were destined to appear. And sometimes when someone is working as a healer or a psychic or even a medium, they're creating an experience of shift or transformation, based not just on the skills, but on your own willingness to believe in it. Your mind, in a sense, becomes a co-creator in the process. Isn't it amazing how the subconscious mind can work in this way, shaping the world around us, based on beliefs we don't even consciously choose? There are moments when the healer might suggest something is happening, and your mind, already primed by your belief in the process, it'll create the experience of it. And sometimes this suggestion can feel so real, so true, that you're left wondering if it really was magic after all. But of course, there's also the power of repetition. As with any belief, the more you're exposed to it, the more it grows over time. And a healer might lead you through multiple sessions, each one reinforcing the belief that their work is effective, that it's producing change. And each time you come back, there's a deeper belief that you're on the path to something great. It's fascinating how this process works, how beliefs, trust, and subtle cues from others, they can shape your experience, even to the point of feeling like something mystical is occurring. When you step back and realize your mind is the true architect of your experience, you might begin to find it a bit more empowering, don't you think? You too can recognize now these shifts in your own mind. Just notice the way your thoughts change when you feel safe, supported, and open. When you expect something to happen, notice how often it unfolds just as you believed it would. It's the power of the way the mind works, quietly, gently shaping your reality, in ways you might not even fully realize yet. And isn't it true, sometimes, when you look back, you begin to see how all the pieces, they fit together. The healer, the psychic, the energy worker. They all invite you to open up to your own potential, even if that potential is sometimes shaped by their words, their touch, or their presence. Now just take a deep breath and let all of this settle in. Notice how you're already beginning to see the patterns more clearly, the ways in which everything is interconnected, and how your own mind is capable of extraordinary things, both real and imagined. And sometimes the differences between the two, they can be surprisingly subtle. And just as you relax into this understanding, remember that you too have the power to create experiences of healing and transformation, simply by knowing that your mind, your beliefs, and your expectations, they shape the reality that's around you.